lots of people that I know, and that includes the students. I want to welcome the students from Hutchins. Where are you? Hutchins students, did you all get a white attendance sheet? Professor McCaffrey told me that you are to fill out the white attendance sheets. Also would like to welcome our visitors for the community. You have been very, very supportive this year, and we are looking forward to your continued attendance. I would like at this point to thank ASB for, which includes Bruce Berkowitz and Casey. I wanted to call her Kelly. And Casey, they have facilitated our Chorn-Pond's visit to Sonoma State, and they work with us to bring very exciting programs, and I'm sure that this is going to be a wonderful program as well. And Casey is going to introduce our Chorn-Pond. So, welcome.
To thank a couple more people, we have instructionally related activities, along with the Holocaust lecture series and the Heritage lecture series. And our Chorn-Pond is a human rights activist, community organizer, and musician who survived the Cambodian genocide. At the age 12, after being forced to fight the North Vietnam, Pond boldly escaped and spent many months in Thailand, where an American stumbled upon him when he was unconscious, and that became his adopted father. And when Pond returned to the United States with his American family, he struggled with the language, the culture, and his inability to both understand and share his experience. He has won many awards, including the Reebok Human Rights Award, the Anne Frank Memorial Award, the Coles Foundation International Peace Prize, and became an internationally recognized human rights leader and speaker. And Pond works to open the eyes and hearts of his audiences and illuminates the true strength of human spirit. So please give a big round of applause for our Chorn-Pond.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm sorry I cannot take off my coat because I'm cold. And I'm also nervous very much. And I want to say thank you for the school and thank you to all of you. And thank you for your class, Myrna. More people than I expected and getting more records. And I want to thank Will and Casey for bringing me up last night from the airport. I'm not sure whether this session is excited, I don't know, but all I know is that I will be playing flute for you in the end of my speech, so that would be good. Like Casey was mentioned about all of these awards that I was given to by many people, especially in America. It's more of it of my work, it's not my speaking. I don't speak very much because I don't know whether I really like to do that, to do speaking. But I'll tell you whether, because my heart got pumping so hard. And I hope I will learn how to like it. Because the story that I'm sharing, it's very much my life, and it's very difficult to share. And I hope you bear with me. I mean, it's going to be fast. And when I want to stop for time, there's a lot of time I heard, for an hour and a half, something like that. So maybe you can ask a question and stuff like that, and things can come to my head, more. But first of all, you can see the flyer, indicate that I'm a child of war, a man of peace, and I really like to think that I'm a man of peace, but I'm not sure about that, whether I'm a man of peace, because I still have a lot of angers, and especially nightmare. You cannot get rid of it in certain time. I'm not sure how I can get rid of it. I'm trying. And I just want to tell you why I proudly committed to what I do now, especially with children and young people. Not only the street of Lowell or Providence that or New Hampshire that I grew up in, but young people all over the world that I've visited and worked with them. And I'll tell you later on why I committed to do this work. It wasn't really my, it wasn't really my major in school. I graduated a political science major, but lucky it was lucky I graduated at all from Providence College. Let me just touch on how I struggled even here in America a little bit. I'm not sure. I know for sure you know where Cambodia is, right? You have some ideas. I asked the junior high school kids in Brookline just last week. They don't know where it is, so it's hard for me because, of course, they're junior high school, We can talk about it later, why they don't know about Cambodia. But they should, though. They should. It's in Southeast Asia, and beautiful country once. And in 1974, to take you a little back there, I was probably 9 years old. I lived in a province called Battambang province. It's a province closer to Thailand. I didn't even know that they were Thailand. But I heard the sound of guns already. I was in the city, suburb in a way. I had 12 brothers and sisters. We have large family, and I run around already 9 years old, and my family were poor, and I was sent into a temple to study, to serve the Buddhist monk, and then in turn I was exchanged to learn my own language and learn how to chant Buddhist. I'm not really Buddhist, but I was a little boy. I just go there, and I was beaten up by the Buddhist monk sometimes because I wasn't good really. I was a child. But I learned a lot in the Buddhist temple when my mom sometimes came to the temple and taught me how to respect the monks. And when there is a ceremony, a celebration, I remember there's a lot of food, a lot of music, and people are happy together. I heard about war going on already. I heard the word Americans all the time in my life. I never met one. I never knew what American was. I heard the word American fighting with Vietnam. But it doesn't affect me because I took my brother to the movie theater. We didn't have the money to go in. I sort of hold the adult hands, and then I pretended like I'm their kids, and they took me to the theater. And I watched a kung fu movie. I watched a movie that World War II or something like that. And I came back and imitating, like kung fu. I hit my brother and all these things. I didn't really care about what's going to happen. But not too long. 1975, you probably know the story, and that's all I knew. I heard the artillery all around, but far away. Then April 1975, this month, the black people came in, black clothes, not black people. They wear black clothes. They are Cambodian too, and they have a camp. So they were called Khmer Rouge. I'm not sure you've heard of them, and their leaders is Pol Pot. They came into the city all of a sudden, and then they cheered. They came with trucks, and I saw some of the soldiers were almost close, a little older than me, and they have grim faces. I'm not sure, and they were noisy. Some of them were on the trucks, some of them were on the tanks, and I cheered with them. They said, "Oh, American gone now. We beat Americans." All of these things. And all of a sudden, I don't know, 3 days they came to my home and they announced on the microphone, they said everybody has to leave your home because the Americans get angry and they're gonna come and bomb us. So everyone had to leave the city. So the next day I saw thousands of people on a highway in front of my house. I don't know where they go, and we had to go with them. So it wasn't 3 days, as you know. I saw them start shooting already on the first time in my life. I saw them not in the movie like I saw anymore. It was right in front of us. They said that they were running away because they were pro-American. So again, I heard American all the time. Then I think they separate me from my family to live in a temple area where they converted a temple into a killing place, where I was sent there by about 700 kids. And we were not prisoners, but we were forced to live there and to die there. They kill 3 or 4 times a day in that temple. I'm not sure why they kill people like that, but when I later found out that some of them will only steal an orange, or they cut cow tails to eat because they were starving. I don't know many things why they play game with the dead. Sometimes they would put up a dead man with muscular, a dead man, and they kill him already. They prop him up, and they put American helmet into him, and they put a cigarette in him, and they were laughing. And a lot of time I was forced to take off clothing from the victims, and I was they pushed me, or they forced me to push many victims into the grave before they even died. They made special acts, small acts like this to kill people in the back of the head. They hit them in the back of the head. Most of the victims went through the same thing, and they also, I don't know why they do this, they take the spleen and the liver out of all the victims, most of the victims, and they ask me to push them into the grave, and I remember some of that. With the Khmer Rouge, if you don't do what they tell you what to do, forget it. I sort of know about that, just do whatever. And some of the kids there were starved to death too, and only probably at the end of about 2 years we were forced to live there and work there. We would wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and work until 12 at night. These are like kids from 9 to about 15 years old, girls and boys. And some of the kids, I saw them going out. They were so hungry, they go out to that mango grove where the Khmer Rouge kill the victims right in front of our center. And some of them were digging the bones, human bones to eat. And he was killed too. And I saw many things. I knew I wasn't, I don't know what I was thinking, but I knew I did not have space. I do not, I think I cared about what happened there, but I have to turn off my feeling toward what I've seen, or I would go crazy, really. I would go insane, and I would cry, and I would probably be killed right away by the Khmer Rouge. Even if those people were not your family, you just can't take it, and a lot of girls I saw being, the Khmer Rouge done a lot of things, and many young girls. At this point, I didn't really know where my members of my family, my sisters or my brother. I heard some of them, and later on I reunited with 1 or 2 of them, but short-lived. I watched my little sister starve slowly to death, and my brother shot. And so I think in that temple I witnessed probably thousands of people slaughtered with stick and axe. I knew if I choose to feel about what had really happened in my face, I probably cry. But I know the Khmer Rouge will kill you right in the spot. If they see you, they see what I'm doing right now. You know, they can tell your face. The Khmer Rouge can look at you in the face and tell you whether you're really emotional attached to the victims, and they kill you because they think you are the relatives of those victims that they kill. So I learned probably very well to probably shut myself off completely. I don't see I don't smell the blood anymore. So I lived there for 2 years, and probably 50 young people survived out of those probably 500 to 700 kids. The Vietnamese invaded Cambodia in 1979. So from 75 to 79, Cambodia, I didn't know that the whole country was like that. You know, when the Khmer Rouge took over, I only knew what happened to this little temple that I was forced to live and die there. The Vietnamese invaded Cambodia and overthrown the Khmer Rouge. I again was caught by the Khmer Rouge to carry guns and fight against the Vietnamese. And the Vietnamese was so good, you know, because they had experience with American. I didn't know that they beat American physically out of Vietnam. And for us, as most of us are only little kids, you know, the Khmer Rouge also forced us into the front line and draw the fire. Imagine, this is a battlefield. And the Vietnamese didn't use a plane at all. If they used a plane, I wouldn't be here. They used tank, but also a rice field, you know, you can see bullets like rain, you can really see them. You know, the bigger bullets, you can see them very well, and it's hard to cover. But imagine thousands of kids like myself, I was 9 years old, I couldn't even carry the gun. I just dragged the gun into the battlefield. Imagine, again, I get to know many young people in the battlefields like, you know, like friends like that. We were cleaning guns before we go to fight, and we get to know each other through eye contact. We don't usually talk much, but we just clean the gun, and some of the kids didn't know how to clean the gun, they blow their head off. You know, they don't know how, the Khmer do not train them. They don't have time to train, they said. You have to just figure out how to do it. So, in the battlefield, you go crazy. You got to go crazy, otherwise, there are many things going on there. I'll tell you when you have questions. But yeah, I learned. I remembered. I carried gun from America. The M16, and I carried gun from Russia, China. You know, AK-47, 79, all those pistols. And I think I was good at it after that. I went so crazy, I was good at it. The Khmer Rouge really trusted me, and they, thousands of kids died, shot left and right from me. And, you know, some of the kids in the battlefield, they run for a bullet for me too. So how I live until today is also because of them. And we got to know each other. This is the feeling I want to talk to you about that I never want to feel in my life. The feeling of, you know, when you see your friend shot left and right, and, you know, I feel right now war going on too with us, you know, in Iraq, in many places like in Central America, in the Middle East. I feel from both sides, you know. I really feel from both sides, not on one side. I used to only feel and only for one side, but they all are scared, you know, each side, and there are boys in the other side, there are women in the other side, and the feeling I had was like, you know, carrying my friend in my hand, you know, like they're shot in the head, they're shot in the stomach, and blood was all over you, and you can't help them, you know, you don't have any medicine and stuff like that. It's very hard, very hard. So they slowly die in your arm again and again and again. So, I learned how to not cry, because crying is, it's not it's not that we taught to. So you go crazy, you keep doing it, just doing it. And if you don't shoot, they shoot you. That's the game. Anyway, I could not bear seeing many of my friends shot. So I was thinking about escaping into the jungle. The jungle of Cambodia is like a tropical jungle, you know. It's big, and it's 50% chance you can struggle there. I have decided alone to just took off, you know. I mean, I live in the jungle for I don't know how long. It seemed to be forever, and I don't know how I survived it either. I don't know. I just I blank out, and there's a lot of fruits in the jungle that I pick and eat, but a lot of them are poison. I learned how to pick the fruits, and usually when the fruit drop from the tree, there's a monkey high up on the tree. They jerk around, and there's fruit drop, and I usually pick it and eat it, and usually it's all right. It doesn't poison you. So there's something that when the monkey can eat the fruit, that you can eat also. There's something I learned. So I pick the fruit and eat, and I walk around a lot on the stream. You don't know where you're going. You just sometimes I catch the fish in my hand and dry it on a rock. And I was just trying to move away from the gunshot, so I go to the south, and it took me, I don't know. Sometimes I got malaria, you know, like leeches. There's a lot of like white leeches. You know, you can see them in the dark everywhere in the jungle, and they jump to you. They smell you. They jump, and at night they glow. You can see them everywhere, and they suck your blood. You know, and I didn't have clothing I have one pair for a long time, so I almost practically naked. I didn't even know, and I got cerebral malaria, and they suck your blood. I don't know how I survived there either. When you sleep. Sometimes I sleep in the tree. I was afraid of the tiger and stuff like that. So I don't know how I just survived. I saw some bones on the ground. Sometimes I walk a long time. I think they were lost like me probably. And the snake was all over the place. And the smallest a snake could get, the poison they will get. So you can't see them very well. So I was afraid more of snakes. I got them across my leg a few times when we were sleeping. But the thing is that you don't move. If you move and they crawl across you, if you move, they bite you. They know you're alive, so you have to stay still. You know, like a bear come and you have to make yourself, you know, stay still. Otherwise, they beat you up. I don't know. You for a while you just learn how to do it. And I've gone crazy. I was unconscious a few times, and I got up and I saw people running around, dancing and singing. You know, I was hilarious. How do you say it? Hallucinating, yeah. And I probably do the same thing. I don't know, I probably do the same thing. But I don't know. It was my last leg. I ended up in Thailand, unconscious in the bush, and about to die. Probably 5 girls from the camp. I think they found me 5 Cambodian girls. They carried me into the camp and they saved me. And one day it was raining, and I was probably weigh 40 pounds. I was about to die, and I don't know, at night I saw many people came to rescue the kids, and it was flooding, and the kids were almost drowned to die on the floor of the dirt, and a lot of people around. And then, you know, I think someone stepped on me. I didn't even get hurt. It was like this 200-pound man, 50 pounds. It was my dad. He went there to help the kids. I think he was stepping on me, and I was screaming, and he saw my teeth was dark at night. He told me that I had white teeth. That's why he saw me. And he bent down, and I saw this white thing. You know, I just clinging to his neck, and that was it. And the next day he came back and trying to find me, and he gave me food and all this. And I don't know. After a year from that, I don't know, I came to New Hampshire. that was a very, I don't know, it's just, and the whole trip on the plane and stuff like that, I never been on the plane, I was crying all the time, and people didn't know what happened to me, no English at all. I went crazy, I came with a few of other kids, Cambodian, and I ran around the plane because I was afraid. I went to the bathroom and I didn't want to flush because I was afraid to be sucked in, and all this, and go crazy. So I came to my home, and my mom did not understand. Also, my dad went off somewhere else. He knew about the situation about Cambodia, but he went off to do some other things. And the next week, my mom took me to the mall to shopping mall, and then I saw him my mom put a lot of clothes on the tray. I love pushing the tray. And I thought it was free, you know, I was so happy, and I put stuff in my bag, in my pocket. All of a sudden I came out, I got trouble already, early. It was serious after a while. Kids, the next day I was put in school, in high school. That was the first grade I ever had. And all white kids, imagine that in New Hampshire, it was all white kids in 1980. I didn't blame them though, they were like bees coming, you know, and they were hitting my head around when they came out from classes, you know. And in Cambodia, you don't hit the head, because the head it's a no-no in Cambodia, you know. It's like your parent lives here, the Buddha lives here, or something. And when they hit my head, I say no, and then they couldn't understand. They keep coming and they make faces, and you know, high school kid. But I don't know, I blanked out. And then when I hit them in the ass, you know, that I say no, and then they hit them in the ass, and I didn't know that in America it's all right. In America it wasn't all right. A man hitting each other in the ass, right? They say like this, right? So we all had a fight. And then who ended up in detention most of the time? It was me, because I couldn't argue my way out. You know, the kids, American kids, they go, I saw them argue, or they speak, they're a good speaker, you know, they go blah, 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 their way out. And then the principal came to me and looked at me, and I couldn't do anything, so I always was sent to the detention. I broke a school window and I pulled my teacher's hair, I spit on my teacher's face. It wasn't my fault sometimes, you know, he asked me to pronounce the word like TH, you know, like the, put your tongue off. There's no such thing in the Cambodian language, you know, and she keep doing it in my face. She spit on me first. She was angry, I know she was pissed, but I can't say anything. She just like, put your tongue out, and I couldn't do it. Nobody tell me what to do, you know. So I just stand firm. I got angry, and she keeps spitting on my face. And then I pulled her hair, I spit back on her face. We became a really good friend after many years. But you know, it was serious. I ran away from home, and I was a suicidal. I wanted to shoot myself because I didn't feel like people understand. It was in the newspaper that maybe these Cambodian boys are burning houses. You know, it was on a town newspaper that probably the house was burned, maybe burned by these Cambodian boys. But it wasn't true. They found out that it was white boy who burns them, arson. So they always blame on us. So I want to shoot myself, and I couldn't find a gun during the time. I was suicidal because you know, the closest store to you in New Hampshire was like 15 miles away. I ran away from home. I got arrested a few times, and I'm not sure how I turned around to be who I am now, standing in front of you today. It took many years, but I think my dad and a few other people like Judith Thompson, this woman who started Children of War with me, who's always encouraged me to speak because I had so much stuff in my heart. She understood that, and they were there all the time to say, you must speak, you must talk about it. I thought never Americans gonna care about what I went through, or they're not gonna care about Cambodia, all of these things, but I was wrong. I started to talk at the church, There's a little girl came in, a blonde girl came and hugged me and gave me $1. She cried. She said, I'm sorry about your life, about your parents. I don't wish that all my American children go through what you go through. You know, she gave me $1 and she said, you know, this money may go far at your country if you go back to help. So that little girl I share all the time because she's like my sister's age. And after that day, I don't know, I start seeing this kid not like, I don't see them as American or white, anything, I just see them. It encouraged me to speak a few times after that. And then I was invited to speak at Emory University, meeting Jimmy Carter there. And he wrote me a recommendation to go to Brown University. And it took me 7 years to finish high school and maybe 6 more years to finish college, but I've done it. I ended up at Brown University. I didn't really like it very much, but Ivy League, you know, and it was big, and I got lost, and a lot of rich kids over there from all over the world, and some of them all they care about is, you know, money, money, money. And when their parents come from like Thailand or Vietnam or, you know, some of them their parents are like prime minister or, and rich people in Hollywood and all it. When their parents come, sometimes I saw them treating their parents like dirt, you know. They only ask their parents for money and some of their parents say, you know, wait, I will buy you a car, you know, next year, not now. And they get mad, you know, they screwed up the parents' day. I saw my friend doing that, and I was pissed, and I don't like it, and I told my friends, some of my friends, he's from Spain, I remember. I said, why are you treating your parent like that? You are lucky to have your parent at all, you know, and he didn't know my story. A lot of American kids that I got to know, they also, all they care about is mauling, you know, lying to their parents and getting money for mauling, shopping for themselves. And they're gonna die in the mall. They're gonna shop themselves to death. I know that because if they don't change, if they don't change to do something better, they will get bored until they die. They get bored. They go to the mall. They want to buy. They want to hang around with their boys and girls and talk and get each other to go to bed and all of that. Only that. I saw girls beating each other with baseball bats because her boyfriend loved another girl, and I saw this on the street of Providence. Many of them I get close to. So why? There's many boys in this country. Why you have to do that? If he doesn't like you, you go to another boy. You're lucky to have a boy and have girlfriend and boyfriend at all. I told you when I share this, I'm really emotional because I pushed to tell you at that temple because of love. There's two couples in Cambodia. They were no boyfriend and girlfriend, but they were like the Khmer Rouge said no talking while you're working. So these two young boys and young girls, two couples, they were talking to each other. I think they liked each other, you know. Both of them ended up in the grave. I ended up helping to push them in the grave. So that cause of, you know, for loving each other. And here, there's so many beautiful boys, so many beautiful girls. Why you have to kill each other for it? I think, because I think it's a small deal for me, right? But I know that if you guys don't know about other things, about other countries, then you think it's a big deal for you. I know that. So I respect that. But that's why it's more motivating me. A lot of kids are killing on the street, you know, and I never thought would happen in here. But I told you before that I never thought anything would happen to Cambodia, right? I was fine with my little brother, my sister. But remember Columbine High School, right? Columbine, Virginia Tech, recently, right? Even though I travel around the world, I'm updating myself. But American is part of me, you know. Believe it or not, I'm American. I am Cambodian American. And I'm proud of that. I have passport all the time with me. Some countries do not respect that. When I give American passport, no, they hate Americans. I want to tell them, I want to ask them why. And I'll explain to them why you don't like American, and maybe some of it you're right. But there's so many things that are not right, that you say is not right. Like here, sometimes I don't know about what you're thinking, you know, and I thought you were wrong. I thought you don't care about me, about what I went through. I was wrong, and I can admit to that. American kids are so caring, and they know a lot about things, you know. They want to help, they want to volunteer, and all this. The school need to teach like that. Need to teach about different countries, so the American angel can go fly and help out. You know, literally, many young people around the world seeing you like an angel. Really, American rang the bell everywhere. Even though there's a lot of war going on, it started by Americans, but the ordinary people around the world, they know they're smarter than you think. They say American people are very kind. You know, only some politicians that they don't have any interest. They want only your money. Then they say all these things. They're trying to teach the people to hate all of us. No, and we need to be connected to each other. And they cannot come here because they're poor. Many of the people in the world, you have wings. That's why you are angels. You can go wherever you want to go if you want to. But no, many of you, you know, many of us here, being hostage at the mall. You can't see anything out beyond the mall, and they are planning more and more now to build a mall for you. Here, we need to change that. We need to stop teaching our kids how to shop, because that's not the way out. Not the way out, and they're not going to be happy about that. And I want to remind you, I'm not on Bush or anything like that. I like John Kerry. I like I know John Kerry. I just brought his family to Cambodia for the first time to see what I do there with the children and music in Cambodia right now. But I want to maybe just stop. I want to share. Any of you remember when the two buildings were down? I was there and playing the flute to some of the victims there and trying to help out a little bit in New York. But I couldn't believe our president went to the ground zero. And you know what he say? You know what you remember? I remember one thing. One thing. Maybe it's not only, you know, he said many good things. But you know what he carried on his hand? You remember that day? Shopping bag. He holds shopping bag. He hold it. He said, my children, American children, be normal. Don't be afraid of these people. They are terrorists. Don't be afraid of them. Go and be normal. Go shopping. Remember that? I remember that very well. So what did he say? And to be normal, to not to let them win over you, but go shopping. So we think about that. And you guys are carrying American wear. I don't know. You guys are the future. But let's talk about it then. I have to stop now, but I just want to finish that. That's part of what I'm doing now. That I share. It's not always good, but I make some money today. Tell you that you guys, the school give me some money, so I go back and small money here, but go far away in Cambodia. You know, I'm also introduced Cambodian kid for the first time to hip hop, like rap. A good rap, not the rap like with sex or with violence and stuff like that. You know, with this big ring and all this, but good rap, you know, like not only puppy love and show, you know, whatever. But there's some, you know, I mean, people use art too, man. They use art to do violence, to do things, you know. Art could be good, you know. So I taught this kid now. I'm starting a first time called Cambodian Living Arts. I located most of the masters, some of them who survived Pol-Pot. I mean, 90% they killed all performing artists. The Khmer Rouge. That was why they killed my family, because I learned when I went back. My family owned an opera company. That was why. And I found out many more people who were like, you know, Britney Spears of Cambodia. In the 70s, 60s and 70s, they sing. His name is Sin Si Samud. He's like a Sinatra, you know, or Backstreet Boys, you know. He sings 4 or 5 languages. What he likes the most is American songs. He translates some of American songs, like Elvis Presley's song. He sings, and he was so good. Once every 100 years, if people are born, right? 4 or 5 girls, 4 or 5 boys right away when we came in. I heard a horrible story, like what I've seen. They've done this to these people. They took out their tongues, I heard before they sing a song and all that. So they died just singing American song to tell you why we are connected. I'm telling you now why we connected, why I'm standing here with you, why Cambodia connected to you, why Cambodia connected to your parent, you know, in Vietnam War, why they so thinking about this that you really heard enough about, you know? Why are we connected? This how I'm saying. Why connected to me? You know, I was a child then. You know, maybe you were not born yet, but we are not so different from the age. But to learn about what happened there's Arn there's Arn Chorn-Pond now. My name is Pond. I'm adopted in Cambodia 25 years ago. That's what I want you to know. I'm very lucky. Out of 1,000, I can stand in here. Again, why should I do this? So I know it's painful for me to do this. You know. So I hope you learned something about today, and I think art is the way for me too. Now I forgot that I'm a musician. I was asked by Jimmy Carter to be a key speaker for Amnesty International for 15 years. I go meeting young people all around the world, and the Children of War that I co-founded. We brought young people from about 55 countries where there is conflict, and usually from both sides of the conflict, to bring them to come to America, and we were asked to speak at the UN, I learned from these young people from like Holocaust. I met people from Holocaust, the survivors from Holocaust. I met young people in the front line in Jerusalem, you know, Palestinian, Israeli kids. I go to both sides. And South and North Africa, apartheid, I went there and demonstrated there. I probably was the only Cambodian American demonstrating in Soweto during the time with Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And so I learned that many places, even today, there's a lot of still war going on. There's a lot of young girls are being trapped into prostitution if they're not being raped in the war, got caught in the middle of the fire and shot and died. People talk about war, how many buildings were destroyed, the plane and the tank. But I never heard they talk about women and girls being raped and killed. I've seen so many of them. Not many men. I've seen many girls and women in the war, mostly got caught. Right now, Cambodian Living Arts and what production that I found using my traditional instruments in doing hip hop and stuff like that. And kids, I brought kids from the street who were prostituting themselves, from 12-year-old, my age when I went through this, to now learning how to do hip hop, you know, in their own language, and now singing and acting and dancing. Now we have in 10 provinces now. And I started with $2,000, the money I spoke from here, and I go and started the project there. And now we raise $250,000 now 10 years later, and we have about 500 children learning their own like dying skill, dying art. You know, many of the art forms are now disappearing. So the instruments and so many other things because of the war. And just so hard to start something, so hard. To destroy it takes a second to destroy it. But to start it, it's so hard. You know, you have to look at everything that's around that one person. You support them. Now the girl, I have to start an English class for them and computer class for them, because I told them if they don't want to just learning the music, they can maybe learn English or you know, computer. Maybe they can catch up with the world, and so they won't be prostitute. They don't have to do prostitution anymore. You know. So I don't know what we deserve. I mean, in Cambodia all this year, and I'm going to stop and I'm going to play the flute, and I want to hear how's the time? How's the time now? Am I okay with the time?
Sure.
So I'm going to play the flute for you, and it's called Lullaby. It's Bombay in my language, and then we open to questions.
me to field a question for you?
What?
Would you like me to call on people to answer questions?
Actually, I met another girl, but she doesn't know her culture at all, but I've studied the history of it. My parents actually went through the exact same things that you went through, and we lost 2 sisters in a run, so.
Where are your parents?
Right now they're living in San Diego, actually.
You're born here? You were born here?
Yes, I was personally, but I have one brother, one sister that wasn't born here, and they're not on the right track because of the trauma that they went through too.
Yeah. Thank you for asking the question. I don't know. I have still had a lot of nightmares. Very scary to think about going back to Cambodia. Very scary for me, and I had to do. I had to do because you know, some part of me is there. I mean, back in Bang province, I went back. I went back to that province. It's just I just recently, and I walked the street. I walked with my little brother. I keep seeing I hit my brother in the head. You know, with the kung fu stuff. You feel, I don't know, I feel less now wanting to kill myself. Something I just had to do to face my nightmare, to just face it. You know, I just have to face it, and it's very difficult. But I found the reason to be there. The thing is that I promised myself, if I hang around at that province where I go and I feel like whole in my heart. I don't have anybody anymore, and I keep doing it like crazy, you know, walking on the street. But right now, it was like the time when I was. You know, people are now exercising in the park, how beautiful, nothing happened, right? It was like 25 years, it's like time, you know, or something. And I was like a crazy one, walking and smiling at myself, right? Smiling and I don't know, kids think I was crazy, but anyway, it's up to them, whatever they think. I organized the first, probably the first art youth festival. The very reason that I want to be there is like I have to do something that I have to be there at least more than a day. So I out of nowhere, I started a youth art festival that brings about 700 kids from all over Cambodia. And it's not much. It probably costs about $2,000 or $3,000, you know, you can't. And for the whole week, people came and showcased their arts and stuff like that. So we've done it like 3 or 4 times after that. And now I'm planning a youth art festival in Phnom Penh this August. We'll bring about 7 countries from all over the world and about 1,000 kids coming to the capital to showcase. It's going to be a national youth festival, art festival, probably ever exists there. This August while I'm here. So I find something good to go back and just I have to face it. And you probably, you have a mom or dad, you should go.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince my dad to go, but he doesn't have the strength. He was also a soldier there. He wasn't part of the Khmer though. He
American
went
soldier.
the other way, yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes he had to play bad guy to save other people and try to get them to like cross over to Thailand. So, but he doesn't. I mean, they say that he updates with it with Cambodia, and they say that Khmer still live like around the river.
They
and,
still.
yeah, and so he's terrified to go back. He doesn't have the heart to go back alone. So, just,
Yeah. What year are you in?
this is my 2nd year here.
Oh, I mean, you can like with us come in and you probably almost close to finish school here, or take sometimes people take a junior year off or something to volunteer, you know, music and stuff like that. It might help you. I don't know if your parents allow you to go or not, but we can talk more about it. Yeah.
Did you know the other, there's a very famous movie in the mid-1980s called The Killing Fields about I can't remember his name.
Let Prawn and Hang No died now. I heard someone shoot in LA, and maybe more politics than anything else.
Did you know them?
I know them. I work with them. I know them when I was a little boy here. We are doing a lot of Congress hearing together, and not hearing, but what do you call it? Testify or something.
Right. Did they bring Cambodian babies over during the mid-1970s
they try to bring up, many people to come to America, orphans like my dad did.
Yeah.
And then be able for us to go back and return and help. Still a lot of problems there, the government is still corrupt. They're everywhere, and if I say something and I go back and do my stuff, they give me a hard time,
When did Pol Pot die?
He died along the border between Thailand and Cambodia. There's a lot of politics into it. The Chinese had a thumb on him, and America and the Chinese were together at the time, anti-Vietnam and Russia. I don't know what the problem is. You guys may know more than I do. You learn about politics and stuff. We can talk about it more.
Do you have a question here?
I wonder if you'd say something about the trials that are taking place now, the one with Duke and the others who were part of the leadership of the Khmer Rouge.
4 or 5, they call it probably the Gang of Four.
Yeah, the Gang of Four.
Like in China.
Yeah, and could you say something about whether you think they really are authentic trials or
No,
they show or...
No, not authentic. They try. The Cambodian are they are Cambodian judge and the international judge. But it's more a little bit, whatever I say here, there's someone that's taping here. But it's all right. The politicians, they run like a mafia, everywhere. They have their people, they have money, and they have the people, and they got money from cutting down trees. They got money from prostitution, and this little girl prostitutes themselves, and the soldier makes all the money out of it. They use that money to run. So people who work like myself, that don't stand a chance with them. But again, that doesn't stop me from talking, because that's all I have. It's my principle and my stand in life. I'm happy to die with my stand and my principle. If I were to die, I probably died a million times already, but I don't. So anyhow, they need more money. There's corruption in the trial too, but eventually this 4 will be house arrest. That is it. Good food. The Chinese going to support them. Good food, good home, good medical. But okay, to say that they are now being tried and what they call it, guilty of genocide. Okay, the Chinese willing to lose their face, but they're not going to die. They're going to have they die by natural causes in their home. They have beautiful villas in the future. So that is our politicians. So that's all something I know for quite sure. Yeah.
How did your parents survive?
What parents?
Parents.
Oh, my foster father adopted me, the one who stuck on me in the camp. Yeah, that's my foster father. My whole family died already.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
There's someone back there.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I hope it's like when we're asked questions myself too. It's interesting to me how you experience so much suffering, and after having experienced so much suffering in your life, you care about us and our problem with shopping. I find that to be interesting and ironic. It's interesting. I think we too, our whole American society, I think we are suffering from sort of like this addiction to shopping. And so I think we're changing slowly. I think some of us are realizing that and evolving and realizing that this is not a value that we have, but we can get real meaning out of it. And that it's also taken away from what's great about our country, which is our willingness to help others, our compassion, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like being almost like a Buddhist in this country or something to realize, sort of real value. So I have a question coming here. I was wondering if you could share how helping others in your life and through your work gives meaning to your life, and how that type of meaning could be as a model for us in terms of what can mean to our life, besides just shopping and hobbies.
Thank you. Yeah, the shopping, I do that too. I want a nice car too, Sometime in America you get a girl, you need a nice car or something. But, there are girls who love you anyway, they are like that. So, but I sacrifice all of those things because I need to work hard. I know where I could be a soccer star, I was accepted to school playing soccer. I was good in soccer in high school. I scored every game like 3 or 4 goals. I was accepted, but I didn't go. I knew that I would die, be a soccer player, and got caught in this money and this. I knew that. So I choose my life earlier, which is good, with mentors. Some mentors, like I told you, my dad and Judith Thompson and a few other people like Paul Mayer, who I got to know, the priests and all that. I learned from them, and they continue to help me out. I learned later on that, my dad gave me maybe we met by chance, but maybe not, He and a few other people who say, Anna, I'm very proud of you now, what you do, they say. I remember, I don't know, I was nobody, and but someone gave me something. Someone gave me, we call it opportunity, something, a chance, a second life to live, right? And I see this when I go to Africa, when I go to, I don't still have money, I don't still have a nice car. I see on someone's couches every day. And I'm surprised how I can do all these things. I'm still surprised. But the thing is that, what American taught me, what being American, Cambodian American here, is not only the mall also around my life, but something, I always think a lot, about something to help, and very creative thing, In Cambodia, I thought that the world was flat, the world was not around, because I don't know anything. America not only giving me the knowledge of thinking, and I never thought about the love from my dad. He's all-American boy. He's graduated from Yale University, Divinity School. And he's a rich man in the past, and he adopted 16 more Cambodians after me. Yeah, and all of them go to college, and he died poor. He died poor, and he said, I'm not poor. I know you are doing great things for the world, and I'm really happy that my life coincided with you, and I really love you, son, before he died. So he said, I'm proud of you, son, and I tried to ask him to smoke less of his cigar and drink what they call it, whiskey, and not riding so big a car, no Lincoln car, He said, that's one thing, don't ask me to stop living like an Indian. I can't. But he risked his life to help me, to help other people. This is American man, he can do, he's very chauvinist, my dad. But he asked me, he said, son, how do you work with women? All these women seem to like you. And I said, Dad, just be nice to them. Don't scream at them. That's all. We learn from each other. The thing I learned from him, the thing he learned from me. So my dad teach me a lot, and he died. Before he died, he said I taught him a lot too in his life, being a white man. So he had his own story to share. My dad, I feel him. And America is representing, my dad representing many American men here, They could be really, if you teach them about WarR, they could risk their life to go and show off their big muscle and guns. And like what his name is, Stallone, big gun, big. But there's a heart in that big body. There's a big heart, big heart. We have to cultivate that big heart, I know, I see my dad, big muscular guy, he's short, but he's so tall, he's so big. He hit me, we played football sometimes. Oh my God, he's a lot of strength. But there's a little heart there that wants something, that people care for him. And I probably gave him that, nobody can work with him for 15 years. I did until he died. So I learned something from the white man. They could save the world or they could destroy the world. You guys in America is like that. And we have to cultivate that, there's obstacles. I mean, I go to the mall too, not say I'm perfect boy, not say all you guys are bad, but I'm perfect, I'm American myself. I want things like everyone else want, but my experience always reminds me that, I was forced to be numb, to not care about what's going on, right? Because if I care, they kill me. In the mall, it's okay. I don't blame an American kid. They get to it so easily, at ease, And for me, it reminds me like, damn, man, I'm being numb here. Always, I want it for myself. I want a nice watch. I want a nice shoe. A shoe costs $150 shoe, like Michael Jackson's shoe, or whatever. The guy who played basketball, 23 Jordan's shoe, Jordan, you know. So anyway, but helping these young prostitutes, looking at them in the eyes, and you know, they take off like crazy. These girls taking off like crazy. For 1 year, they learn how to speak English like crazy. And I brought them first time here. Now I brought one of them, two of them here, a boy and a girl. They go off on their own now, they speak English and all that. They don't want to be prostitutes, you know? So I give them a little thing, just a little thing, and then I go off, and then they confidence, you know? So how can I pass that? How can I not care about that, you know? So I want you guys all to feel, you know, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how you guys are going to do it, you know? But this is all, just go out, you know, go out of the mall. Just do that and you find yourself there, yeah.
What do you think about the kind of resurgence of Chinese and Soviet communism?
Oh, okay.
What do you think about the possibility of resurgence of communist and Soviet communism?
Insurgent?
Resurgence.
I don't think they will though. I don't think they will. They die. Right now, everybody's selling wine already.
They're going to the mall.
They do it on a different way. But they have some communist ideas still operating in the old guys. The old guy will die soon. They die now. So the younger one are looking now for Bollywood and Hollywood now. So we'll try to get them hopefully. You know.
I want to. Okay, but I don't know if students have questions. It would be good if we got students asking them. But please ask your question.
Can you explain what is it in the Cambodian culture that brought out this terrible cruelty?
May I repeat the question? The question was, what was it in the Cambodian culture that brought out this cruelty?
I'm not sure it's a culture. I'm not sure it's a culture. They are Buddhists. And Buddhists really much known as like Christian, you know, they teach love and all these things. I think more politics. Cambodians are very small, and they have Angkor Wat, you know, the beautiful temple, 1,000-year temple. That takes that will bring $12 million or $15 million a year to Cambodia, and you know, gas they still not exploited. So you know, many things there, the coast and the gemstones and all of this, you know. So the neighbors, like the Chinese or the Vietnamese or the Thai, wanting to control you. And America, far away, say, no, you can't. I'm going there. That's it, you know. So they fight over. It's not difficult to understand. So they fight over. So the last time it was communist against the free world, right? You call it. It's just an ideology. And then they fight over each other. They drag the Cambodian people to war. They spill the war. They spill the war from Vietnam to Cambodia. Yeah, they say that in the history. So understand that it's not Cambodian doing it to themselves. And also the American also drop bomb illegally against international law. When the international say, don't drop bomb in Cambodia, they have no war with you. Drop in Vietnam if you want. But we have left over bombs in 1973. Twice more bombs dropped than in Japan, dropped in Cambodia. About probably almost 500,000 tons. What did the Cambodians do? We don't know. I was there when I was a little boy, so not a culture. It's more politics and who want to control. Now we have terrorists and free world. Before we have communists and free world. Now we have terrorists, and soon we're going to have Nazi, another, whatever, I don't know. But millions of people will die with it. Whether it's an ideology advantage or control or resources, you know, you can tell in Africa, you know, they have the best diamonds or resources in the world. Why the people there are still poor? Because someone else want to control it and take it out, not in. So, you know, so it's not, people there. I know that I'm
There's a student.
Yeah.
I remember coming to some freshman year, I had to go with people.
Could you speak up just a little bit?
Oh.
Just-
Coming to some freshman year, I had to do with people and culture, and I decided to do it on Cambodian since I live in a Cambodian neighborhood. And I've noticed that when speaking to the younger generation, they're very close to this culture, but they're not very aware of the war
Yeah.
in Cambodia. And so I decided to talk to the older generation, and they don't really open up to that subject. Like, what made you open up? Because I see them and they're very, the ones that were very, like in the war and stuff,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're very isolated and they don't want to speak about the subject. So what made you open up and like able to like speak about it?
I like to say I'm a little unique. I'm a little unique because I say it humbly because I met many people around the world, survivors from Rwanda. I met many of them. I helped them to come to America. I met Jewish Holocaust. I have to start some of the, like Facing History and ourselves in Boston. It's a big organization now. They are trying to teach, police department all around America about Holocaust. I helped to sort of since the beginning of that organization. And I have a hard time encouraging many victims from all over the world to talk about it, of course. Why? Because it hurts them. And they say it hurt too much, and it's like poking on your own wound, right? In my talk, I say the same thing, why talking to these people? Why talking to Americans? They're not going to care. That's the idea, I learned that's not true, from my experience. Like today, it's a good example, your class today. You care and you want to help. What can we do together? So that's why open me up, number one. Number two, and because of people encouraging me like my dad, or I myself, I know some people kill themselves. Whether from war or from war is, we call wounds, hurt. But hurt has many things, hurt involves many things, like loneliness, right? It's all. And hurt and loneliness is not only on Chorn-Pond or Cambodian, it doesn't except to Cambodian on Chorn-Pond, like South Korean, the guy who moved on Virginia Tech, right? The South Korean boy. What happened to him? He probably lonely, you don't know. They say he is. They said he is, and he's gone crazy, and not many people reach out to him enough, maybe, not to blame. But I don't pro killing either, but midway, why? He's lonely and he needs somebody to talk to and belong to some group, and the group come in and say, nobody cares about you except us. Our group cares about you and what you stand for. So he's really away, want to, the whole world against me, I know that because I was down. I was down. I need friend. I need a football player. I need if you see your mate, schoolmate, I know it's a lot of work for you guys, who say, honey, what's your girlfriend, to your girlfriend, if she's sad, what's up with you? Can you talk? Or your boyfriend, the football player, say, honey, how are you doing, man? Why are you sad? Can we talk? Or your schoolmate, or in the classroom together when you smell some problem. You see your guys come, soon there will be Iraqi kids coming and sit with you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You have to learn about what this kid went through. You were once, your parent came through something. That's why you are here from Europe, right? Persecution. Remember history? Don't forget that yet. The people who live here is the American Indian. That was it. And where are they? We did something to them. We have not talked about that. And the black issue in America. We have not talked about that. We talk about shopping mall. We haven't talked about those things. It hurts. They are people, So you are white kids are people too. You guys need to help each other out and see if there's South Korean, you see him, he's Cambodian, man. I need to talk to him. Let's see, the school can do something for him or for her. Maybe he sees something that we didn't see, or why he's so, thinking always, brown face, and maybe he doesn't do well in school. We should find a way to help him, because he's among us. Midways was among us. You like it or not, it will happen here. It will happen in this school. I don't scare you. I don't scare you, but it will be reality. So less mall, shopping mall, please. Less probably, we have sport. A lot of sport going on, pumping muscle. I understand we have making a lot of money with sport too, Sport is $1 billion thing, But are they cared about what's really happening more and more here in this country? There's a lot of kids are lonely and angry. Why? Don't blame on the ethnic group kids. Why kids? I've seen them, many of them in jail right now, pumping themselves. Why kids? Why? So what are we doing to our children? And they're not stopping. They're planning to build more mall. When you get out of your home, there will be mall right in front of your face.
And then prisons too.
And then mall and then prison. So I don't know. We have to really start doing good things, thinking about that. Ask all of us.
There's someone back there, I think, who has a question.
Yeah. What?
Why is music so important to you?
I think I feel good playing, especially playing for you guys, playing for the Cameroon. I don't feel really good at all, man. I think it's, I didn't play this instrument. I was forced, during the killing, during that temple, I was forced to play for my life, and I did play well, and they killed 3 boys. They saved 1 or 2. I was number one. I was faster than anybody else. No doubt, I was faster than anybody else because my family were honest. I didn't even know. You see, it saved me, and I think the music saved me. Anyway, but during the time when I played, I was starving. It's not a good feeling to starve. It's a very bad feeling, starving. I never want to feel that anymore. Then you also got daydream, And then when I start playing the instruments, I was able to escape somewhere. I was in heaven, the sound of that instrument. It's like in heaven. But playing for the Khmer Rouge always scared. I always scared. But to play more and more, I never thought I was a musician. I spoke. I was speaking for Amnesty International a lot of time here. Then now more and more, I go back, and New York Times have written about me last year, saying, going on Chorn-Pond, a Cambodian American, going back to rescue his culture and music and all that. I told them, no, I wasn't. I just go there to pay my respect because the music is really saved me. And those old people, need to pass that down. The music is beautiful, music and dance, beautiful, Not so aggressive. The music is very slow and very gentle. So when you listen to it, when you play it like a flute, it doesn't matter whether you're macho or not macho, you hear it, you surrender to it. You sort of like nice feelings to it. I'm just learning how to accept that too, while I'm playing myself. I think music gives us something important. I think the most important is that something I want to say in my heart, I want to say that I didn't want to say verbally. I want to do it through music. So music is like you stepping on it and to use it. Like that's why the kid doing hip hop and stuff, break dance and stuff. When I go to Cambodia, I still doing this. I can get trouble speaking, start acting like this, and now I'm doing music video. Whether they like it or not, sorry. I'm not doing music video for like killing somebody or trying to overthrow the government. No, I'm just trying to get the kids together and give them computer and learn English. That's it. You kill me, why? So it's all right. It's all right. Whatever. I say it. I'm going back. I'm going to do. I'm going to do a national press conference there with the kids about why I'm using musical instrument to do music, hip hop, to do rap and stuff because I'm Cambodian American.
Well, I just wondered, do you set up trips from the United States over to Cambodia with groups of people, take them over?
The question was whether ARN sets up trips for people to go to Cambodia.
Yes, we want. We want. If the school have money to bring some kids, I don't know, the kid might want to go without paying the trip themselves. I take Watkinson School, Connecticut. They go every year now. Only one group I started it. They go 10 each time, 8 attendants with two teachers. They raise money themselves. Junior high school, they wash car, they sell cookies, and then they have enough money to. I fix them with one of the village that we taught music, and they go. They have extra money to build a latrine for them, and the kids had a good time. They do this every year now. For 4 years now, I host them. They hired me to make a little money, a little bit for that whole month to host them. No college yet. So please, I love to set up the friendship from here. Why not?
Absolutely.
We can drop bomb, we can drop college, right?
There you go.
Yeah, please. I like it. Why not? Get excited about this. Huh? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's ready to go? Yeah. Go like this. Don't go like this. You're gonna have a good time. Trust me. Trust me.
We'll have Sonoma State Power.
I like to set up that, and we can call New York Times to write about it. I can do that. Let's do it. Let's start doing it. I'm going to call on you. You're not going to get away with it.
That's all right.
Can I add on to the last comment about the music? During the war, a lot of their targets were on musicians. Am I correct?
What?
Like during the war, their targets were mainly musicians, and so they killed off a lot of the historic art and media that Cambodians had. So even here in America, the Cambodian community, and even there, like just recently, 2000, they just, the government or something like that had told somebody to go shoot up one of the musicians, and Americans actually brought her here to Sacramento and tried to care for her health. She's paralyzed now. She was a musician. She's paralyzed now, but she tried. She was not a great artist, but their main target during the war was on musicians, and we've lost a lot of the music and media through that. So now, like Cambodians, their main focus is to bring that music and bring that culture and beauty back to their people.
Good point. And it's still great risk for what I do too. CambodianLivingArts.org. Go there. And also WarR production, WarR, EK, one word. I just started it. I just put it up last week. That's my own production, not an organization, but production. That using Cambodian traditional instruments into hip hop stuff, You can hear, but in Cambodian language, but I wrote it in English, some of the explanation. So go to that. And I got to connect with Michelle, who's helping me to just follow up with this.
Absolutely.
We definitely will follow up. Any other questions? Join me in thanking you.